Hi everybody, it's Jill Lancet. How are you? Well, we've had a long weekend here. It's Sunday, so we're kind of still in the middle of that long weekend. This afternoon I've got Libby coming over, so I'm filming this a little bit earlier. I had a class this morning and I'm fitting this in between. So anyway, I hope you've had a great weekend. It's coming to a close for you guys, I guess, by the time you see this evening. But I just want to get it out of the way early because little fingers are like octopus tentacles once Miss Libby gets here. If you're not sure who I'm speaking about, it is my gorgeous little granddaughter, Elizabeth. Yeah. Anyway, I've got a card for you, and I'm using, hang on, just get that out of the way. I'm using a new stamp set that these products are not released until May, and they will be online exclusive products. So yeah, keep your eyes out for them. I will put all the details below in the description as usual. So if you want to jot down the numbers, etc., you can do that. And then when these are released, you've got them. You don't have to think about it. Okay, you can pop them on your list. And yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so we've got just about everything we need here. And yeah, I'll just run through this new embossing folder and stamp set that I'm using. The stamp set is called Blooming Phrases, and they've got these gorgeous little sentiments with the long squiggly tail on them. I think they're pretty. Thinking of you is really lovely. And then you've got these little elements. Now, you know, I didn't really know what to do with these for a while, but yeah, I'm getting into the hang of using these little ones. The embossing folder is the mini ones, the little skinny ones. You get 2 in the set, or you will in May. They are called Glass and Garden, and there's this gorgeous, maybe if I put something behind that, you might be able to see that a little bit better. It's got a beautiful phrase, or is it a frieze? I think it's a frieze of flowers. And this one has this, all for the world looks like cut glass. I don't know if you can see that very well, but anyway, we're using the floral one. I'm going to pop that one back in there and get that out of the way. I'm using the beautiful two-toned Lost Lagoon paper again. It's a cardstock, really. It's thick. It's two-toned, so one side is just that, you know, tone lighter than the other side. I'm using more papers from this absolutely beautiful set called Everyday Happiness. I really, really like this. It's been out for a while, but I really like it. Textured, that looks like watercolor paper. That's got a beautiful mottled design as well as this spotty sort of design. This beautiful one here, this is the piece that sold me on this. But look at the back of it. Oh, chips or straws? Oh, that's terrible. They make you choose. Then you've got this beautiful piece. It's wild wheat. And on the other side of that is a beautiful Lost Lagoon gingham. So, yeah, beautiful papers. I really like this paper. Yeah, there's a lot to choose from in that pack. Even though there's only those designs that I've shown you, you can mix them and match them. So we are actually going to mix them and match them. Today I'm going to use the beautiful flowers. I've got the embossing folder all set up here. I have a basic white card and envelope in the standard of your country. Now, if you do not have my matte template, which at this point in time I cannot find, but I also have cut them up. So I have my metric size here, and then I have my US letter size. So when I'm creating, I can make sure that it's going to fit both card sizes. But you can request this in a PDF. It comes in one sheet. Keep both of them, because if you are a follower of mine and I say mat 1, I'm talking about the Australian A4 metric size, but you can just go to your mat 1 and see what size that is, US letter size. Okay, request that, tilly2145@gmail.com. Yeah, all you get is a sheet, a PDF. I have gone to the trouble of cutting it out. You can do that too if you want. I'm very visual. I like to see them. So I've got these two. The measurements will be down below in the comments, but I can tell you this, that they are both size mat 1 this way for your country, and then the DSP, no, the two-tone is 8 centimeters metric, or 3 1/8 in inches, and the DSP is 5 centimeters or 1.5 inches. This is a little bit wider for the metric market. So you just need that. So you're only using a small amount of the beautiful DSP. We've got a scrap of basic white. Now this depends on the stamp that you want to use and the punch that you want to use. Okay, so it's a scrap to fit what you have. Use what you have. You can use this if you don't have the Lost Lagoon two-tone, but you've got another color, use that, because we are going to emboss this and then, yeah, do something special with it. Okay, so I've pretty much got everything here. I've got some stamp sets from different sets. I will link them below. I'll not link them. I will put them in the description, okay? Right, let's get going. So the first thing I want to do is I want to emboss this. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm using the dark piece up. So where the Stampin' Up emblem is, I'm popping my dark piece in there, just like that. And I just want to make sure I'm getting it all. And I want to line this up so that I've got an even amount of flowers on both sides. Okay, so it kind of goes off the page here, but that's okay. So I want to get it as close to the edge on one of them. So I want to get it, the embossing, as close to that edge as I can. Okay, so this is a beautiful design, and it's, you know, like, so simple. It's just flowers. So I'm just going to emboss that, and I'm going to run it through my, actually I think I might have to put it on these first just to make sure it fits in. Yeah, okay, I'm going to line that up with the embossing folder. Scratch all of that, because basically I don't know what I'm talking about. No, it has to be inside. So bring it over as far as you can to one side, because we are going to tear one edge. So we need to have this design closer to one edge than the other. If you're using a bigger embossing folder, of course, machine, of course you can move this right off, but I'm using this one just for ease. So I'm going to follow the instructions for an embossing folder, which is this grey mat. So it says white mat, embossing folder, mat number 3. Now, I haven't tested this on this yet, so I hope this is the right combination. So we'll find out in about 2 seconds flat. Of course it's right. Crikey. I don't know what I was worried about. There you go. beautiful. And you notice I've got a bit of an edge here that I can tear off. Now I'm going to show you a little sort of trick that I kind of discovered. Is to pop it back in the embossing folder and, yeah, use that as your guide to tear it. Look at that. It won't give you a very, like I'm in an immaculately straight, but it helps a little bit in tearing it, because we want this white edge. See that white edge? Right, we've done that. That's scrap. You could use that if you wanted to. You could use that on the inside of the card. We'll see. So now what I want to do is, I'm just going to pop that over there. I'm going to get my handy dandy nail buffer and I'm going to sand this like I did with that beautiful card a couple of weeks ago with the beautiful leaf on it. So I'm just going to give this a sand. Now you don't want to be too heavy-handed on this. You don't want to tear the paper, but we just want to bring that white core up to the surface. Look at that. Crikey. How gorgeous is that? How lovely is that? This has got to be one of the easiest techniques ever in the history of card making. Well, that could be a bold statement, but you know what I mean. Very easy. Look at that. Minimal effort, maximum impact. And while you're there, if you've got a little bit of a stray, you know, nail, you could tidy that up as well. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Of course, you've got paper dust everywhere now, but that's easy to fix up. We'll just shake that into the bin. And there we go. Look at that. Now, how gorgeous is that? Now, this thing is pretty much almost ready to go. So what I want to do is I want to stamp. Now, this is where you can choose, okay? You can make this a landscape card, or you can make it a portrait card. So that is up to you, and whatever stamp, greeting or punch that you have may determine. Now you might want to have it this way, okay? That again is up to you. So yeah, it's quite versatile, this. I might make it this way for a change. I might make it portrait and we'll do it that way, just for a change. I was actually going to do it this way, but I think we'll do it that way. I think that looks really nice. So the first thing I want to do is glue my piece. Now look, you could choose either or, but I particularly want that, the flowers, because I really like the flowers. The stripe is gorgeous, but I love those colours together. There's just something about the Lost Lagoon, the Pretty Peacock, the Wild Wheat, and that is grey granite, and we're going to emulate that. So what you want to do is you want to pop this down and just match the border from the both sides to the edge, okay? So whatever border I have either side, I want to make that along the edge. I'm just popping that down. Okay, now we are making this portrait card. And now I'm going to glue this on. Does it get any easier than that? You know what? I think not. What a gorgeous, gorgeous card. And I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to line the border up here and down here, just so I've got that straight. How beautiful. Look at that. Wait, what did that take? 5 minutes? Okay, it was already cut, but you know, crikey. Okay, so now I've got a scrap of basic white, and I wanted to use this greeting. Now I can't remember what stamp set I got this from. Hang on. Hold your horses. Nope. Hang on. Is it this one? Happiest Day. Yeah, Happiest Day. Wishing you the happiest birthday. So I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to do that in, will I do it in Pretty, I think I'll do it in Pretty Peacock, because we've got these little accents of Pretty Peacock. So I will do that in Pretty Peacock. So just hold your horses, honey, while I ink this up. And I had a lovely call the other day from Maureen. Hi, Maureen, if you're watching. When I answered the phone, she said, oh, I think I accidentally rang you. But we had a lovely conversation, and yeah, it was lovely to talk to you too, Maureen. So there's our greeting. I'm going to pop that on there like that, right in the center, okay? And I do have a bit of a pad under this because this is a photopolymer stamp, okay? And yep, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Now I've got the whatever punch you want, whatever greeting you want, okay? Uh-oh, have I got ink on me? I think I just got ink on there. Who knows? This one is the heartfelt hexagon. Now, yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we have this one. So look, that just barely fits in there. So I'm going to show you a little trick, okay? Because my little scrap isn't terribly big. I'm going to take one of these little post-it notes. It doesn't matter what size you have, okay? And I'm just going to stick that on the back of it, just like that. And that's a little handle. That's going to help me navigate this thing in here. So I chose a scrap that was just the right size. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just going to, hang on. I think that looks straight. So I'm going to punch it. And that scrap, I can take off my little post-it note because I'm finished using it. And I just thought I might like to put a little bit of inking around. And I didn't even dip this in. This is just what was left on here. So I'm just making that just a little bit defined. There's certainly enough ink on here to do that. So I'm just going gently around. Beautiful. Look at that. That makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so we've got this. Now on the inside, I want to stamp sending you a big hug. Now, if I had any sense, I would have done this before I put the front of the card on, but asked and answered. Hang on. We'll give this a test run and just see. How weird is that? Like, it's stained red, and look at the colour it comes out. Let's have a look. Gorgeous. Right, let's ink that up again. Put that on the inside of the card. Sometimes I don't decorate them when I'm making a video, but today I feel like doing that. Now, I hope that's straight. I'm not over the top, but, you know, let's hope it is. Probably not, but there you go. I am always amazed when things like that turn out. Now, it's not exactly scented, so I'm going to show you a little trick that I'm going to do. I've got these beautiful little flowers. What did I do with that stamp set? Crikey. Oh, here it is. So I got this little flower because it reminded me of the flowers on the designer series paper. And there's a little leaf, little twig of leaves. And I've chosen the same colours that are in the designer series paper. So we've got Lost Lagoon, Wild Wheat, and the grey granite. So we've got a bit of pretty peacock in there, so I've used that on there. So because that's not terribly centered up, I'm going to use the grey granite, and I'm going to stamp this off, and it's just the leaves, so I've stamped it off, and I'm just going to have that coming out of there, just like that. Now that kind of disguises the fact that it's not exactly centered. Okay, so now the other thing I want to do, oh, let's not lose that, is I want to do a Lost Lagoon flower and a wild wheat flower, but I'm going to put these down in the corner. Let me just ink that up. So I want the wild wheat one there, just like that. Look at that. I'm going to clean that off because I want to use it now in the Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon, let's have a look. Beautiful. And I'm going to stamp that kind of here like this. Beautiful. And that's all I need, those little, oh no, we might do it on the envelope, we'll see. Let's have a look. And then with the grey granite, I'm going to do the leaves. I'm going to do them 3 times, okay? And I want a couple to be like, well, at least one to be full strength. So you're going to be full strength. And then I'm going to do a second one, half strength. And then I think I'll do the third one, maybe full strength from here. Look at that. I've made a beautiful little corner. Oh, you could even do a few more half strength. What do you think about that? Beautiful. Right, put them over there. How gorgeous is this card? Now, I was just going to pop that up, but I think maybe it needs something else. We might actually do the flower in not Lost Lagoon, in wild wheat. Hang on, there's wild wheat and it's got the Lost Lagoon lid on it, crikey. Rightio, I'll just keep taking the medicine. Hang on, I think we might just do a couple of wild wheat flowers. We might do them like half strength. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. And we might do another one just over here. Beautiful. And with the grey granite, hold on, hold your horses, honey. Where's the lid for that one? Oh, here it is, here it is. Stop looking. So with the grey granite, we might do a couple of the leaves, and I will stamp these off as well, okay? So we'll stamp it off, and we'll have one coming down here like this. I didn't really think about this one, guys. We've got a bit of a leaf happening there. And with this one, we'll have it coming up here like this. Oh gosh, that's turned out quite well, actually, for a bit of an impromptu. And I was going to pop that up. Now, where are these? Here they are. And I wanted to put a bit of ribbon. So we'll pop one there, one there. We'll pop one there and one there. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, this ribbon here, this pretty peacock and gold, I just wanted a little peek of that somehow coming out. Which way will I have it going? Hang on. You can tell I've put so much thought into this part, can't you? Yeah, okay, we might just do that. Just have a little bit of that coming out. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Right, let's have a look. I'll just trim these up a bit. There we go. Now, I think I want it to sort of be like that. I think that looks okay. What do you think? Okay, so we'll put a bit of Seal Plus down, just down here like this, and I can arrange my ribbon now and lay that in there, and I know that it'll be secure when I want to put this down. So we'll just have these going at different height. There we go, let's have a look. I think that's fine. Let's just get that really stuck in there. So we'll put another bit there and have that going down like that. Yep, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Let's take these off, and I might pop a bit of liquid glue on the back of these as well. Oops. Just so that they stick to the ribbon. So just a small dot. Okay, and now I can position this how I want it. I think I want it just like that. And then I got these pretty peacock sequins. They come in a 3 white, I think that's Berry Burst and Pretty Peacock. They're in the current catalogue, as is the ribbon, and I think I'll just pop a few of those around, and this card is done. What do you think? Oh, I think I did find my Take Your Pick, didn't I? Or have I packed it away? I don't know. Where am I going to pop these though? That's the issue. Oh look, that screams out for one, right there in that flower there. What do you think about that? Maybe a small one. Oops, oops, she says. Maybe a small one in here. Oh, missed it completely. Missed it by that much. So we've got 2 sequins, and I think we have to put something on here. So we'll put another little one. And then we've got like a bit of a visual triangle thing happening there. We've got our beautiful, beautiful card. Very easy. Looks like you spent an awful lot of time on that, but we know you haven't. Inside decorated very, very quickly. Envelope, we can decorate exactly the same way. Where is that thing there? Grey granite. We'll pop. Oh, hang on. No, I better do the flowers first, hadn't I? So we'll go the opposite way that we went. So we'll pop that one there. I'll give that a bit of a clean. We'll pop some Lost Lagoon on that. Oh, that's the weirdest thing that's happened today. I wouldn't say forever, but yeah, just today. There we go. And wild wheat, Lost Lagoon, and we'll do the grey granite leaves. Do a couple going this way. A bit of stronger colour going that way. And 1, 2, maybe 3. Envelope done. Envelope and card. Speedy card. Very, very nice. Beautiful technique. 29 minutes. Look, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to donate to the Kanamaluka Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre, that is my nephew and his family, and they are doing a fantastic job, but they are doing it tough. Winter's coming on, so yeah. Anyway, look, thank you so much. I will see you guys all on Thursday, hopefully. And, yep, I'm looking forward to having my Libby here tonight because we haven't seen them. They've been in Tasmania having a lovely holiday, and yeah, I miss that little kid. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you so much for joining in again. Hooray, stay safe, be kind. Don't forget, be kind. Thank you. Bye for now.